Hello, my name's Quinn.
I'm Will.
I'm Dylan.
I'm Southwick.
And I'm Jack, and we are Pledge Pair. Pledge Pair is a company that makes uniquely designed everyday socks that when you purchase a pair, we donate a pair to a community. This is Todd. Todd gets all his clothes donated to him by homeless shelters. He can't afford his own socks, so he gets all his socks donated to him. According to the Public Library of Science, they say that socks are the #1 most needed apparel item in homeless shelters. And after discovering this issue, we found a company that is trying to solve this problem. This company is called Bombas. Bombas was created in 2013, and they have showed us that there is a want to help solve this problem. They have donated over 15 million pairs of socks, and their one-to-one system is working. This other company is called Stance. They're also a sock company. They focus mainly on the aesthetics of a sock. After seeing these two companies explode in popularity, we decided to take the best of both worlds and use the donation factor from Bombas and the aesthetics from Stance and put them together into our company. This is a sock that we're currently selling on our website. Our socks are comfortable fitting, with also being seamless at the toe and have soft cotton for comfort. The sock that we'll be donating will be a plain white sock that will be warm and help solve the problem for the homeless. By purchasing our Pledge Pair socks, you'll help give back to the community and help people like Todd stay warm.
So while doing competitive research, we found our two biggest competitors, as Jack said, they're both Bombas and Stance. Bombas is their direct competitor because they have the charitable aspect, while Stance is an indirect competitor because they have the aesthetics of the socks. There are a few other competitors similar to this, although they have a very low market share and it wouldn't be that difficult to pass. For our target market, we have two sectors. We have the buyers and the shelters. Number one, the buyers. The buyers are normally from ages 12 to 17 with a family income over 100K and are in the USA. Pretty much like boys like us. Then our second target market is shelters. So we want to, part of our idea is to donate to homeless shelters, and so that's why they're in our target market. And we've been looking out at many different homeless shelters. There's one, for example, is Pads in Elgin, and we've tried to contact them, although they haven't replied. And we think that because the thing is that we haven't really proven our work in the industry, they have no clue what to base us off of. So once we get enough sales, like around 50 to 75, then we go there and give them the socks in bulk so that they could, they actually know that we want to form a direct partnership with them and build with us.
So as far as our customer relationships, we are currently using Instagram. We did not pay for Instagram ads because it turns out that our cost of goods cost more than we expected, and we just didn't have the finances to do that at the time. We'd like to expand to sporting events, so we'd set up a booth at a sporting event and advertise our cause and our product and perhaps secure a few orders in the process. And perhaps in year 2, we'd like to expand to YouTube ads. Although more expensive, people do not have the option to skip YouTube ads as often as they do on Instagram, so we feel like we could really secure our target market through that. And currently our channel is Wix. We have a Wix website, and we're probably going to stick with that Wix website for a while, and we contemplated expanding into retail stores, but we noticed that our cost of goods was just too high, and the commission we would have to pay for it would just be too much, and it wouldn't be efficient for our company.
So our total addressable market, the total stock market, is just under $7.5 billion. Our service addressable comes in just under $26 million. To get this number, we took our target market that Safik mentioned earlier, and then we factored in that 17% of footwear sales are done online to get a number of 635,000 people. Then we multiply this by our frequency of purchase of 3 pairs a year, which we got from customer feedback, and then by our average price of $13.50, which I'll get into later. As for each unit, what goes into each unit is 2 pairs of socks. First is the donated one, which we get from Walmart for 85 cents. Then there's the customer sock, whether it be an everyday sock or an athletic sock. The everyday sock we get for $2.83 from a manufacturer, and the athletic sock we get for $6 from a manufacturer. However, with the application of a wholesale, we're estimated to get this down to $4, which would really help our COGS. Once you add ink, labor, and paper into this, the everyday sock comes to $5.11, and the athletic sock comes to $8.28. However, we're looking to get this to $6.28. Our pricing is value-based. The everyday sock is $12, and the athletic sock is $15. This is extremely competitive in the sock market, along with our competitors, Stance and Bombas. The current gross profit margin for the everyday sock is 58%, and for the athletic sock is 45%. However, with the application of the wholesale, we can get that gross profit margin to 59%. Our market share year one is $14,500. How we will get this is what Dylan mentioned earlier through our Instagram campaign, along with showing up at sporting events and sports tournaments. We gained about 10 customers per month in our MVP. That was all with free exposure. However, with using paid exposure, we're looking to triple this amount, grow by 30 customers a month, and have a total number of customers in year one to be 360. When we're looking at growth year 2 and 3, we want to increase our revenue spending from 4% to 8% on marketing. This way we can maximize our potential and get as many of our target market right away as we can. So with a conversion rate on YouTube of 5% in year 2 and year 3, we're looking to grow by 500 customers in year 2 and 1,000 customers in year 3. Year 4 is another great way to expose ourselves to our target market. Taking advantage of being in Chicago, there's a tremendous amount of skaters. So we want to show up at competitions and events like that so we can, again, reach our target market. We're looking to grow by 500 skaters in year 5. And then we're going to reduce our marketing back down to 4% of our revenue. However, we'll still be exposed to the same amount of people, so we'll get 1,000 customers there as well. Year 5, we expand our demographic to girls. When we talk to girls, it was about half the interest of guys. So when we gain 1,500 customers in our marketing year 5 of guys, we're going to expand by 750 girls as well. When you look at the grand scheme of things in year 1, we're looking at just under $4,000 in net income and growing to just under $56,000.
So for our MVP, we wanted to test 3 major things. First thing was our price point. Second thing was whether or not people liked our designs. And then the third thing was our ad campaign. And originally we wanted to do this all by getting the competitor's stock and then adding $3 onto it and trying to sell it as our own. But we quickly realized that this just wasn't the way to go. So what we did for the new MVP was we actually just made our socks with the equipment that we got and we sold them. So like I said, we really wanted to test our designs. These are 3 of our designs, and we feel like the designs are really going to tell us whether or not people like the price point as well, because obviously if they're buying them, that means they're comfortable with the price point. So like Will kind of already touched on, we do have the $15 athletic sock, and then we have the $12 everyday sock, and we really recommend the athletic sock obviously for any teams or if you're looking to work out in them. And so our ad campaign, we were not, as Dylan suggested, we're not able to start it, as I'll explain later. So the process is actually pretty simple. So we have a sublimation printer, prints with sublimation ink, and then we just use a heat press and heat press it onto the sock. So we have 23 orders, and our feedback has been great. So far, nobody has complained. The only thing that we have gotten a little bit of pushback on is just the time, but we can reduce the time if we get more printers and more heat presses. So our budget originally with the $425 that you guys gave us was we wanted to spend $25 on Wix, $100 on our demo, and $300 on ads, but that just ended up not being what happened. We had to spend $367 essentially on the demo for the equipment, and then $38 on inventory, and $18 on supplies, which was just extra paper. Our revenue for our MVP was $301, and we reinvested $265 into the business, and then, which gave us $35 left over. Our profit is $149, and the reason that's why it is right now is simply just because on Monday we ordered 18 pairs of new socks to fill upcoming orders, so we just reinvested that money.
So first startup costs, we have legal, like the LLC and everything. We have storage and equipment, as Bill said, we need more ink and another sublimation printer. For inventory, we also need a lot more socks. And for marketing, we want to once again progress into Instagram, and we also have a liquidity cushion. The reason we need so much, we have new storage and equipment and inventory is because we're not able to keep up with demand of sales. So because of that, because we have too many sales, we have to have more storage and inventory so then we could provide our customers better.
So this totals to $7,800. Our exit strategy is to sell to a strategic buyer in year 5, like another stock company such as Stance or Bombas. When you're looking to invest in us, we have a 51% rate of return and a money multiple of 6. That being said, we're asking for $7,800 in exchange for 25 or 20.5% of our company. We just want to thank you guys for your time and attention this year, and we are Pledge Bear the Sock that does more.
You reinvested $250 in what, inventory?
Yeah, so we bought, it's pretty much all been in stocks, and then we've had to buy ink one time, and we had to re-up on paper one time.
How about the surfers? Surfers?
Yeah, that was, so the skaters is what we want to focus on being in Chicago. If we expand, surfers kind of fits into the same category.
Just from a mental point of view, or?
Yeah, just
I'm
from
missing
the
some.
marketing.
Surfers wear socks?
Yeah, well, just because,
They're not surfing.
yeah.
I thought they were flip-flops, but okay.
How does shipping get handled in the stocks and your cost of goods sold?
Yeah, so the customer would pay for it. Most of our orders have been local, so we haven't had to deal with that, but we talked about it and the customer would pay for the shipping.
You may want to think about your liquidity cushion of $2,500, just bringing that way down and using that money to have more inventory. The more inventory you build, the more you get to self-fund this, because you can convert it into sales and then reinvest like you did in the MVP. But you do that with a bigger pot of money, you can self-fund your growth a lot more.
In your financial overview, do you contemplate taking charitable contributions as a deduction?
Yeah, that's in our cost of goods.
So you deduct that out because you contributed to a charitable cause?
Oh, you mean like when selling it?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you buy socks and give them to a charitable contribution, then you take a tax deduction.
Oh, okay.
So it would come out of your cost of goods sold.
Yeah, yeah.
Or your SG&A expenses.
I wish you had more evidence on the marketing. Like, we've seen a bunch of other teams come up saying, gosh, I did an Instagram for $32, I did an Instagram for $80, and we converted into orders. I know you ran low on your MVP money, but you couldn't find 40 or 50 or 60 or $80 to do an Instagram ad.
Yeah, so we just felt like our website, it just wasn't going to be worth it with what our website was.
Okay.
People had asked us, like when we approached them, they said, do you have a website? And first of all, it doesn't have a domain, so it's hard to even get people there.
Okay.
And then, they would look at it and just be like, I would rather just order through you. It's not very customer friendly.
So how do people find you? I'm sorry, but
So it's through word of mouth. So we had, I'm going to say 5 people initially that bought our socks because we told them about it. And then once their friends saw it, they were like, where'd you get those socks? And they would talk to us about it, and then they would order socks.
We've been growing very steadily, and it's been snowballing.
So
essentially.
kind of overview your marketing plan. I mean, once you get the website in shape and you're gonna, you're ready to start selling, how are you gonna go about doing that? What's Wix? Is it?
We're using Wix as our website currently, so we would redirect them to Wix, so we'd have that. So for example, if we used YouTube, which we would do in year 2, we would have a link at the bottom of our ad on the YouTube page, so they would have the option to click to our website and see our options for socks.
We would also upgrade to the Pro version if we even decided to stay with Wix. I don't know if we're really happy with it anyway. And if we upgraded to Pro, I know just for Wix, we would get a domain. People would be able to order through it rather than using Venmo. That's what we're using if you don't have cash. So
It's for sure something we need to expand on.
Do your competitors offer free shipping?
no.
And then, so you had 5 designs up there, and which ones sold? And then how many sales did you have? 23?
23.
Can you just rattle off the numbers? Like we sold 4 of these, 7 of these, 8 of these, 10 of these?
We sold 1 pair of those. We sold, of the USA ones. We sold 2 pairs of the Barrington ones, and then we sold, I want to say, 1 pair of the football ones. But those should go up because our season hasn't even started yet.
A lot
So
of
what was your big seller?
It was these.
those guys.
to attract.
And they're not even up there as one of your designs.
Oh, they're up there as like one of the pricing ones. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It was a team design, so it wasn't.
that was a team design for a track meet.
yeah,
And was it potentially one of your top sellers because that's the season we're in?
correct. And I'm on it, so it was just like,
So,
I like,
Well, and it's kind of a local buy. I don't think too many people are gonna buy Barrington Bronco socks outside of our zip code.
So 3 of you are wearing the athletic one. Talk to us about any marketing plans you have for reaching out to other high schools and club teams, anything of that sort.
Yeah, so reaching out to the other schools would come through mostly the teams, like the track teams, the football teams, and other like teams like that. That's how we would get into high schools.
Yeah, well, we really wanted to like wear these to the meets, and then like we would tell, because we know most of the kids that we're running against anyway, so we would like tell them about this, but unfortunately our spring has been very cold,
Yeah.
so we've had to wear like
Your
tights the
warm-up
whole
outfits
time,
and stuff,
so
yeah.
like you can't see our socks anyway, so we haven't been able to really do that. That was kind of like one of our major plans, to at least like spread out to the track teams.
So how do you even make the socks? There's a piece of equipment you bought? that
Yeah,
prints
so
out?
we have like it's a special printer. Well, it's not even like special, but you have to like configure it to be able to print the sublimation ink, and then you can. It's just like printing any other picture. So you would put it on your computer, it's a JPEG, print it out, and then it's on special paper. And we have a heat press, it's like 12 by 12 heat press, and you just put it on there for
So how long does it take?
Yeah, to make like Will's socks. Will's look like they're complicated.
Okay, well those actually were pretty easy to make because it's just one picture.
Okay.
Just 2 sides.
But
Fold it
the,
on.
printing it takes like 5 minutes, and then the actual pressing is 40 seconds per side. What does take a long time though is configuring it on Photoshop, because the actual dimensions on Photoshop aren't actually, like it says 20 inches, it's not 20 inches.
Okay.
It's like computer 20 inches.
So let's
it's
flip
not.
this the other way, let's build on the approach that you've taken for marketing to date. So what we know is, in season, a sizable group of people, like a track team. So let's go into summer, let's go into fall, cross-country, football, and those are both sizable 100-plus kids per team.
Yep.
Boys and girls, whenever lacrosse plays. Can you take the sublimation approach and all that and just show up on site when parents are buying their gear?
Yeah, we can definitely
And
do that.
get, have pre-drawn,
Mhm.
pre-scribed, this is the team logo.
Yeah, that was our plan too, for like if we went to tournaments, we would figure out what teams are at the tournaments, just make one like stock design, be able to transfer all the colors, all the logos,
Yeah,
and just print them on spot. Because if you already have the design, it doesn't take long.
Yeah.
there's a team that got funded last night from 211 that's not socks, but using that sublimation technique proved to the investors that they're worth it.
So, let's see, let's go back to the economics a little bit, what you're using money for. You already bought the piece of equipment?
Yes, however, we would need more to speed up the
Okay,
process.
so that's in the $1,000, like another piece of equipment?
Yeah.
And the inventory is actually the socks and the ink
And
Yeah.
the paper.
and the paper? Is there any packaging that comes along with this? When I get it, do I just get it in an envelope for socks?
We got like little clear bags almost, but I think we would like our own packaging. That's what
I would really recommend that. There's a branding aspect to this that's good.
People get excited when they
Yeah.
So we're talking-
Yeah, that's
You
the
love
that's the
packing.
bag.
Look at Drew.
Okay, spirit. Yeah.
And you just take that over and off you go.
And perhaps
Yeah, try to
a
brand, you know.
sticker with
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
logo
Reorder.
and your website address, locking it down here so that people can order more because they'll want more.
And something nice note saying thank you, you've made it possible to have another person have a pair of
So you have
socks.
like a note card in there
Yeah.
saying you've benefited from your
Well,
community.
And let's build on that, on the note card, perhaps a quote from a recipient of
Yeah.
socks in the past as to what it meant to that person.
Great idea.
30 seconds.
Okay, so are we talking really 10? Is that the ask?
Well, it's 7,800 or whatever, but,
Yeah.
where are you guys at as a team? Like, are you Are you excited about working on this next year? Are you all excited? Is it some of you are and some of you aren't? Or
So we're split. Me and Jack would not be continuing with it next year.
okay?
But
And
Point
the other
Suffolk and I would be continuing it.
all in?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
And we could, of course, if like, if we do get funded, we could hire another person so that they could help out.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Well done.
All right, that concludes 7th hour. Good job, everybody. Tomorrow, we will be making announcements of who's moving on to the final round. And then what